What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm so excited because today I'm gonna be heading over to San Diego, California to go visit my really good friend, Evan Joseph. So if you don't know who Evan Joseph is, he is a hair curl expert. He actually travels, I think, between Ohio or Idaho. I'm not really sure. I always get those two mixed up. You can tell I'm a true Californian because I don't know my geography. I'm here in the front of my salon because I'm waiting for my assistant to arrive so we can head on out. So she's gonna be helping me film today. I'm super excited. You're gonna meet her in just a second. Her name is Bree. She's gonna be recording and she might be in the camera as well. What's kind of cool is we're gonna be watching Evan do some hair. I'm not really exactly sure what he's gonna be doing today. I've never met him in person. We've only been chatting on Instagram through DMs and text messages. So I'm really excited to kind of meet him in person because I can tell he's like a little funny. He's got a little bit of wit. So I'm excited to just to get to know him a little bit better, his business and how he got started in the hair curl game. Today I'm catching him in San Diego, so I'm so excited. So let's get right on the road.
Woo. T-minus 1 hour and 3 minutes away.
1 hour? Where'd you find that at? Oh shit.
1 hour.
Up here. We are kind of close to Camp Pendleton. You saw the boobies. They're actually dismantling the boobies.
Wait, are they really?
That's what I heard. I put up a story and I was asking people, you know, to drop any questions. So I haven't looked at those just yet. I just want to know, you know, how he got into the curl business, because when we look at the curl business, majority of that clientele are women of color. So I just kind of want to know like how a white bald guy got into this business. Like that's like my main question. I want to know how he got into this niche because it is a very great niche specialty to get into. Because I think a lot of times when we go to cosmetology school, you just don't know what you're gonna do really a lot of the time. So, and sometimes you just kind of fall into those things. So that's kind of my main question. I'm excited as an educator to go visit another educator because a lot of times I don't have the time to get my own education on and learn. So this is an opportunity for myself. I'm gonna learn all about curls and hopefully you will as well. There's always something to learn.
Because we have a couple of curling clients that come into the salon.
Yeah, so the reason why I kind of knew about Evan and I got connected with Evan is because of my relationship with Kenra Professional. You know, being an artistic ambassador for them and educator. He uses a product called Authentic Beauty, which is a sister company of the Henkel family. So that's how I knew about Evan, because I know about Authentic Beauty. So that's why I was like, oh, like familiar products, right? So I'm excited to see what he uses there, if he does use, you know, Authentic Beauty. I know he uses a lot of Schwarzkopf color, I think. Honestly, I don't know. He uses, just like every hairdresser, we use a little bit of everything, so. All right, we just arrived to San Diego. Woo! I know we're on the hunt for exactly where
I think it's the one in the corner.
Studio's at.
Do you know what number he is?
I have no fucking clue.
Evan Joseph. Evan Joseph.
Do you know what it starts? We're going in deep. It's all in there. Oh my God, we have to do it. Yeah, so we didn't check over here. We're right at the front. So let's cut the camera.
Cut the cameras. Dead ass.
So are you inside of the Beauty Well salons? Okay, no, you didn't send me that address.
3055 University now.
Oh, you gave me 535.
Yeah, that was what I thought I sent you the new one. I'm so sorry. You'll be a lot happier when you get your much nicer.
Okay, sounds good.
We're not blind. We're just...
So Evan accidentally sent us the wrong address and it's because he just moved. So totally honest mistake. Now we're gonna get back in the car and we're gonna head on over to the actual studio and we'll see you there. All right, let's go ahead and just cross the street, but you pick my outside.
What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you?
Good, how are you? Good to meet you. We're watching Evan right now in action. So he's just taking some video. He just recently moved to this salon space, so he said he's trying to find some good spaces to take good photo and video. So your whole vibe too is very, like, I would say minimalistic, neutral.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you guys are gonna die when you see my space. There's nothing in it. And there never will be.
Very cool. Oh yeah, this suite is much different than the other suite. Okay, so give us a tour, Evan.
Okay, welcome to my suite. It's little, so it'll be a quick tour, but I love minimalism. I like the salon to be about the hair. And I like things to be like peaceful and calm, so you'll see it's very minimal. I always paint the walls white in all of my spaces. Like if my jewelry or anything hits it, it scratches it if it gets color on it. The thing I like about that is I just keep a can of paint and I can just paint it. It's so much better than trying to match like colors and stuff.
Totally.
And then I always love like flowy curtains here, so if we want a little more privacy, we can close these. And it just goes great, like open light in here.
Love it.
So this is my station. I obviously love gold.
Love it. I know I saw your new gold shears you bought.
I just got these.
Those are pretty cool.
People always die because I use sheer expressions, which are like $40 scissors. I used expensive scissors for years.
Yeah.
The thing that we always say is like, they have really rigid blades. Those really thin blades for cutting curly hair dry, they dull so fast.
Okay.
So these are like the school scissors of hair cutting.
The moral of the story is you don't need $1,000 shears to do amazing work.
No, you don't. I've used all of them. And
I love that.
I don't have to sharpen these much, and they come in fun colors. I have gold and white, and then they come in all kinds of.
Where did you get this gold tray?
So I just got this from Amazon, and
Okay.
I love it because it has a little base on it.
Yeah.
The wheels will have to be changed. We all know that. I'll give it a tour.
But look at this. We got Fiji water. I see some little mini Dr. Peppers. We got the, what is that called? Gatorade, Perrier, and then, oh yeah, and then he was telling me that these are like little weed drinks. Is YouTube gonna let me put that on there?
I don't know. You might. But this is my hooded dryer. And it's from DIR Salon. This is my favorite dryer that I've ever had. If you can make the investment, these are amazing. This is not sponsored. I just keep a little bit of storage in here, but I keep all my retail here.
Wow. Okay, so I have to ask, we were actually talking about this in the car, but are you in a partnership with Authentic Beauty?
I am. I'm an advocate for Authentic Beauty Concept.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I keep my personal stuff here, but then all of this is all my retail.
Oh, love that.
So I have Authentic Beauty Concept, and then I have some AG Natural that I like to use, and then the OG that I've used like forever since the beginning of time, NYC Curls, which is a super small company. So I have my cleansers and my conditioners. These are the main two lines that I use, Authentic Beauty Concept and NYC Curls. And I keep all my treatments here. Coffee, obviously I'll make you guys a cup if you want. Does anyone want a cup of coffee?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's show us how your machine works.
I think that might become a thing. I was prepared.
Because did you watch the video with Francis?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Espresso machines, automatic espresso. I said espresso, right? My husband always corrects me. So I love these because you can make your client a great, like, you know, bean to cup coffee, and it's really special for them.
Okay.
Those are the little things that just like tell clients that we carry. So then you pour it in, and it's so pretty when you pour it in. I love it.
Awesome.
All right, let's see.
Oh my gosh.
What was the other girl's name?
Who?
That made you a cup of coffee.
Francis.
Francis. Is it as good as Francis? That's what I want to know.
Oh, gosh, you're putting me in a tough spot, Evan. Okay. Hold on. Oh, it actually is really good.
Better?
You can't do this to me, Evan.
It'll be good for you too.
Okay, I mean, it is a really good cup of coffee.
It's
like
better,
fresh.
Francis. So, when I'm doing just haircuts, I do white robes, but we can't do that when we're coloring hair. The one thing people don't know about me is I color hair a lot, actually.
Oh, okay, so we're coloring hair today.
Yes. So I always do a robe and then a cape. Especially with curly girls, it's a lot of wet hair hanging down their back. It's just that like extra layer of protection. And then if there was one thing that you could change about your hair today, what would you change about it?
The dullness.
The dullness? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So it sounds like it's flat and frizzy. Those are your main things. It feels a little dull to you, and you're using some inner scents to cleanse and condition and everything.
Yeah.
Are you happy with those, or it could be a little better, right?
It could be a little better. I feel like I never really get the shine that
Okay.
I want. Even if it's not frizzy, it just still looks not moisturized.
Cool, and that might come down to the color too, so that leads me to my next question. What would you change about the color if you could change anything?
I have never really done too much color in my hair, never highlights or anything.
Okay.
Besides my ginger spice highlights when I was in 5th grade.
That's actually very on trend right now, ice spice.
It is. But my parents did that. They bleached that for me. So other than that, I have never had my hair professionally dyed. So
Yeah.
I'm not really sure what, what to look for.
So we're
that.
open.
But
Cool.
I'm open to that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So we'll frame your face, and then we will connect that to the top, lift all this up, keep as much length as we can, but we're gonna take those dead ends off.
Okay.
Now, for your color, I know that gray is not, it's not super important for you to have full gray coverage, so there's no reason to go in with ammonia hair color unless we want to lift it up, which I think we need to kind of deepen things a bit.
Okay.
So what I'd like to do is put some ammonia-free, richer hair color, but that kind of matches your natural here at the root. Then we'll go in and do a balayage highlight and low light with some more, and bring some more of that darker through.
Okay.
It's not going to cover all the red,
Yeah.
but I think that'll be nice to add even more dimension in there. Then we'll highlight. We're going to see... Mirella's gonna die because she would strand test you, but I'm not going to. So we're gonna see where...
This is gonna be really interesting now.
The cool thing I think that Mirella's viewers will enjoy seeing is me doing a low light and highlight together. I'm kind of crazy. It's kind of like finger painting. It's organized, but I tend to mix stuff together and be crazy.
You know that? I really liked my coffee because I drank it all.
Francis, I'm coming for you.
I'm noticing you're kind of taking about 1-inch sections around the hair frame and just letting it kind of lie in its natural state.
Yes.
And then now you're just cutting it without any tension.
Yeah, so I compare it to this is such an old school way of thinking. Like the face frame. I make my face frame. That's my pattern piece. And then I bring everything over it and cut that.
Got it. Okay.
As my guide. But it's a little more like pattern making because you're just laying it over top of it and cutting it. You're not stretching it or pulling it.
Love it. So I have to ask, when you're working on somebody who has a much tighter coiled pattern,
Yes.
and let's say they got lots of tangles going on,
Yeah.
how would you address that first? 'Cause
So-
that's my biggest question. I always watch people cut curly hair, and I'm like, what if they come in and they have so many tangles? How do you organize your
So
cutting?
if they don't follow the prep instructions that we send out prior to their appointment, that's part of going to a curly hair salon, is understanding their culture and their methods of doing things, and they'll communicate those to you via email when you book your appointment. So we always ask that our guests come in washed and styled and detangled so we can get to work right away, and then we can take them to the sink. It just shortens the appointment time. So once I set those front two pieces, then I just start throwing this forward. This is a great way to manage bulk. This is probably the most important part of the haircut. As an industry, we have really done a good job becoming more inclusive and teaching people how to use how to do tighter textures of hair now.
Okay, so when I was in the car, we talked about questions that I wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
And so this is gonna be a really silly one. I wanted to know how you got into this really niche-y market of cutting and styling, coloring curly hair. And so I feel like when I look at your feed, you have a lot of women of color specifically.
Yeah.
Where are you from?
Columbus, Ohio.
Columbus, Ohio. So how does somebody from a white guy who's bald from Columbus, Ohio get into doing curly hair?
I was born bald, but I wasn't bald my whole life. So if you look back far enough, especially on my Instagram @EvanJosephCurls, you will see that I had long curly hair at one point.
Okay, I did not know that.
My mother, not tight curls, but I had curly hair. It's just got too thin up here, so I eventually shaved it off. But after I became a hairdresser, Diva Curl had become popular outside of New York City, and they came into a salon that I was working at. So I was one of the early people to be trained with Diva Curl. So that's how I got into curly hair. I started doing my mom's hair, and I started to see how fried my clients' hair that I was straightening, especially my super curly clients. So, and I would make them look beautiful, like it'd be sleek and like, you know, so glamorous. I did those bombshell blowouts, you know, that are back in style right now.
Yeah.
It just really resonated with me from a standpoint of, I'm tired of sending my clients out leaving like this and having them, no offense to you, but having them return like this. Now I think we have more information now, not as many people, like people are better at doing their own hair now,
100%, yeah.
so that was like what spoke to me like as a professional. But then I think as I started to do it, it also spoke to me like as a gay man who didn't fit in growing up, like it resonated with belonging and with helping people who didn't feel like they belonged in the beauty space to belong there. And that's how it all started.
Love that.
So I started doing looser curls, my mom, and all
Yep.
that. This is a long story, Mirella.
So I'm already seeing the shape happening. Are you seeing it too? I love it. Like
this
literally it was like really flat right here, and now we're getting a ton of volume, and I'm seeing the curls already like pop. You can kind of envision it a little bit.
The problem that can happen when you cut curly hair wet is it can just like completely deflate it and shrink it up, and it can be like practically gone when you're done.
Can you ruin a curl pattern by cutting it wet?
You can't ruin it.
Okay.
Things that, well, you can't ruin something if the result is what the customer wants, one. Things that can ruin natural curl pattern are like slide cutting and that kind of stuff. But if you're just pulling curls out wet and cutting them off like I am right now, it's not gonna ruin it. It could be uneven, it could shrink up too much. You don't have as much control, but you're not ruining it. So now I'm just going around, and then you can see my moving guide right here. Just keep moving through the hair. Just keep taking that top off. I'm lifting up just a little more than 90 degrees because I don't want it to get too thin around the bottom. What do you think, Mirella?
You wanna use your level finder?
Look, it's always too cool. Look.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, these are a little bit on the cool
And
side.
especially when you're working with textured hair, I don't know why, but these don't match. So I typically grab my natural, but I use this all the time. I'd love to talk about that.
Yeah.
So I typically use the natural or even the gold sometimes. So
Yeah, because the natural is a natural light reflection, which I feel like, yeah, is more reminiscent of what is.
so I think we're between a 3 and a 4, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the 3.
Yeah. So I'll tell you something that I always do on textured hair because it's so porous is if I think it's a 3, I'm gonna probably go for a 4 because I don't want to have everyone's hair turn
Yeah,
black.
because curly hair absorbs light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe we do like a 4B on her base and Demi, and then we'll also use that as her lowlights in between her highlights. And I think that'd be so pretty. People don't realize that I'm actually an introvert, and hairdressing helps me get out of that, but I get really nervous when I meet new people. Or I can totally present on stage, I can do all of those things, but when it comes to one-on-one, it's hard for me. So we're gonna do single lights. And I always kind of start in the middle here. Now, when I get up to where that retouches, there's no reason, especially on her curly hair, to like have these go all the way to the root. And I don't want to have like 500 different toning situations. So I'm gonna kind of just go up a little bit. I want her to have a good pop on the end, so I'm gonna do like a mid-satch.
And what makes you pick a piece of hair over another?
Experience.
Yeah.
But when you're first starting out, if you're just learning how to do this, pick up those curls that you want to pop or that you want to recede. So like the curls you want to pop, you're gonna make lighter. The curls that you want to recede or add that dimension to, you're gonna make darker with your lowlights. So I put the lowlights between the highlights. And then when I get to the next section, I'm gonna brick lay. So the highlight will go on top of this low light will go on top of that highlight.
No, it's budging. So we got all of this finally applied. Look at that, pinky up.
Service.
He's got the nice little setup here, little snackies. How many hours did we process her for?
I don't know. I don't even count. Probably an hour and a half to 2 hours.
Yeah, I would say so too, because it took a minute for that to budge, but that looks so freaking good.
So Spa Mist is a machine that creates microscopic water particles with vibration, which helps to better hydrate, cleanse, and treat curly hair.
Oh, so
And I'm gonna let
fancy.
you guys see it.
Yeah, I'm excited.
And you can purchase Spa Mist on my website. I'm a retailer.
Oh, you're a retailer. Oh, awesome. So where can they find that? They have to
So
go
you
to
can
Evan.
find that at evanjosephsalon.store. It's a really great way to use technology to elevate your in-sync experience without adding extra time. Sometimes it's hard to find things like treatments and things that don't add time. This just adds to the experience and to the hydration of the hair while you're doing what you normally do. Does that feel okay?
Mm-hmm. Ooh.
Does that feel better?
We didn't feel bad this time.
Now we're gonna cleanse her. I'm gonna use NYC Curls today. It's a zero lather cleanser. And the reason I wanna use a zero lather cleanser is because she had box dye on her hair. She didn't use the other things. Her hair is dry, so I don't wanna use anything that has any lather to it because I don't wanna dry it out any further. I wanna start to moisturize it. It still gets the hair clean though. So that was enough for the top of her head. And a lot of people try these zero lather cleansers and they think they don't work, and it's because they haven't been taught how to use them. So we're gonna go up from the underneath now. How does that feel? Amazing?
Great. It's the best part.
And start to get that into the middle of her head as well. Okay, that should be enough. So once her scalp is fully covered, then that's when you want to scrub. So the friction and water and the cream cleanser are what going to get her clean. So I basically made a 6 by mixing equal parts 7 MB and 5 MB. And we're gonna do a 2-to-1. So I have 40 grams basically of 6 MB after I mix those together, and then I'm gonna put 20 grams of 6 NUA. She's like, stop saying mushroom.
I love mushrooms. It's a different kind of
The other thing I'll do is let a toner sit for 5 or 10 minutes and then put another color on top of it.
I've done that.
Like if I let this sit and I'm like, okay, I didn't put enough 6 on this for this to neutralize, then I'll add more 6. Nice. See the color. All right, lots of conditioner. Start in the ends. So start in the ends and just rake that through. Smooth it out. I love the way Authentic Beauty Concept smells. And you know, as far as reparative stuff goes, I always look for things with guar in them instead of silicone or like bond builders. Tends to work better on curly hair. Pre-conditioner, this is what it should look like after conditioner. See how it's smooth? See that beautiful color? Nice and hydrated. And this, all those fibers are standing up. Replenish Balm from Authentic Beauty Concept is maple and pecan, and then the guar. It's very reparative and will fill in any negative space in the hair. Yes. As soon as you rinse your conditioner, you want to go in with styler, or you're gonna have to wet it back right.
So in this case, you wouldn't use your machine for this part.
No, because we're getting ready to
Style.
Yep. Okay, what was your question?
So you didn't really use too much product.
No.
So the conditioner kind of did most of the work.
Yes, so that's what I was saying. If you prep the hair properly, you don't need a ton. Basically, you just keep adding water and smoothing until... See, now you can start to see those clumps start to form. See? And then once you start to see those form, then you can start scrunching. A lot of times people don't realize, like, you have to smooth that hair out before you start scrunching it. You just take your microfiber towel and squeeze the back. It'll release that naturally. And you can shake it a little bit, but don't just go in there and like...
Yeah, that's like the natural thing that you want to do is push it back. Wow, what a huge difference already in your curls.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, it looks so pretty. Like your hair didn't have much curl going on in the back at all, and now you can already see it.
Okay, now we're just gonna start diffusing her.
So pretty. Wow.
So this is a new diffuser I've been trying out and I'm really liking it. It's called the Bellissima Diffon Supreme. And it's only for curly hair. This does not come off. And it's beautiful.
Tell us how much you love your hair now.
I feel like never damaged it or dyed it ever. It's like back to its natural beauty. Love the color. I've never not boxed. Like the only time I've ever dyed it was with a box. I've never had it professionally colored and it just looks so natural and beautiful.
I am so obsessed with this like brown shade that you created. It's so pretty. So pretty.
I feel like her glasses make it pop even more.
I know, right? It's like a whole vibe. So I really hope you enjoyed this video visiting Evan Joseph at his wonderful studio in San Diego, California. I'm gonna actually let him wrap up and take a bunch of amazing videos and photos, which I'll probably put in this video as well. So if you enjoyed this video, please comment down below and let me know any questions you have for Evan or what you liked about this video and who you would like for me to visit next. To learn more about Evan, you can head on over to his website. I'll put all of the links to how to find Evan in the description. And then of course, to learn more about me and where you can find me at Mirella Manelli on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. And then you can head over to my website, morellamanelli.com. All of the formulas and everything that was mentioned in this video will also be found in the description, and I will see you in the next one.